You're now tuned into Mic Check Waifu. Hollow and Tell, is that you?
Mic check. Mic check waifu. Tell them, is that you?
I'm not snitching on nobody, so I don't know why you just call me Tell them.
Yeah,
what's good, bro?
Tell them.
How we feeling? Oh, no, not tell on them. Just tell them. I'm going to tell them what it is.
Yeah, that's it. What's
tell them
going
it's
on,
episode 63, bro. What is it?
Yeah. It's episode 63, brought to you by Lube Complex. Make sure y'all go to lubecomplex.com. Use that offer code Waifu to save on your entire cart. Oh, it's some dope merch in there, so make sure y'all go check that out. Tell them Mic Check Waifu sent you. It's also brought to you by our Patreon producers, Monique Williams, Connor, D Prince, Chris Kennedy, and explicitly
Let's go.
Did it without the list. Let's go. Thank y'all so much for supporting the podcast and keeping the lights on. We appreciate y'all. And shout out to all of our Patreon producers. Shout out to the homie _ Rob J for loving the after story too. I know I think I shouted him out on the after story.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna shout him out again. Thank you so much for listening to those. Get early access to the podcast by going to patreon.miccheckwaifu.com, as well as some podcast merch at shop.miccheckwaifu.com. So we got a lot to talk about this week. We're gonna try to keep it below 2 hours. If it goes 2 hours, oh well. But
it is what it is.
We're gonna try to keep it 2 hours. First and foremost, Tell, you featured on that episode Black Anime. How did that go?
It was pretty dope, man. You know, I love the Fate series, and we got to talk about Fate series. That's all it was basically telling people how to start the Fate series. We know it's a complicated franchise, and just talked about the series itself, the history of the series, and not even all of it, because there's so much of it to talk about. He wants me to come back. We're gonna talk about the magical girl part. So we're gonna watch the magical girl part. He want to talk about that. So I'm like, all right, bet. Just let me know when you're trying to watch it. I'm gonna have to binge through it.
The magical girl part.
That's gonna be crazy though, because like you done got me on this slice of life kick.
Yes, sir.
So now it almost don't even feel bad to sit down and watch the magical girl stuff.
Magical girl, not that big of a fan of. Slice of life is my shit, but yeah, magical girl can miss me. I kind of feel the same way I feel about that with Mecha though. Like if it's a good one, I'll watch it, but it has to be real good, like legendary,
real good. Heat.
That's dope though, man. I'm glad you did that. It was awesome listening to it. First and foremost, where do you want to begin, bro? Let's start off with what we watching before we get into deep into some more Bleach talk. Okay.
So I picked up Kagauri. It's the anime made by Netflix. First thing I want to say is it's beautiful. Oh my God. I don't know if you watched it. Oh yeah,
I watched the first season.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so fucking beautiful. And not only that, I actually really enjoy it. It's a little overboard in moments, but it's not like overboard in a way that makes me angry and not want to watch it. It's overboard in a way that's like, I guess if this is what gets you off, like I can't really be mad at that. But it also is hype, and it gets you like that anticipation of like
what's going to happen.
It almost, I'm not gonna say it's like, what does it remind me of? It reminds me of Shokugeki. But without food and just straight up like, hey yo, it's like money on the line.
Yep, straight gambling.
Yeah, I love it.
Waifu City too.
I mean,
they're everywhere.
I'm only 3 episodes in right now, but yes, I want to get through more. See what if you saying it's Waifu City, it's definitely Waifu City. But I love like the eyes, bro.
Yes.
Like how they do the eyes in this show, I'm like.
And did you notice how the pattern on her clothes don't always move? It's fucking gorgeous. I love that for some reason. It's like that. What's that one Cartoon Network show that did that? It had like the stop saber. It had like the
Gumball.
yes, gumball.
Yeah, Paulo be watching that.
Gumball esque. The gumball esque art style. That shit it's phenomenal, man. It's a good show.
I'm hyped for it. I'm hyped for more. I'm ready to see where our main character goes. Mm-hmm. She just lost her first bet, I guess, and it was like purely by chance. But like her personality, low key is like, I mean, she should have won based on like how they put it.
Yeah, keep
but
watching.
it was also like you know, they clearly cheated. But she had the right idea. She's raw as fuck to me. Like I love when people can break like the game and they know you cheated.
Yep.
It reminds me of No Game No Life, but if it was Shokugeki no Soma.
I need to watch season 2. You done got me hyped. I had it sitting in my Netflix queue forever, but I didn't pick it up. I don't know what I was thinking.
I was just thinking like, I need to watch something different. Let's see, what can I watch that's just new and fresh to me? And I was like, the fuck is Kakaguri? And I turned it on, hit the button, was like, boom, on Netflix. Monique like, what's this? I'm like, we're about to find out. I had no idea it had anything to do with gambling though until episode 1, and I was like, oh, okay, this is what it is.
Just pretty live, man.
It is. It's dope.
Just pretty live. Speaking of the Netflix, I finished Violet Evergarden.
Okay.
Man, a sea of sadness.
Okay, now why a sea of sadness?
But an ocean of happiness too. It's like, okay, remember what I talked about it a couple of weeks ago. I said how Violet Evergarden, she's his former military
yes,
emotionless doll. She becomes a doll that writes letters for people who can't, write properly, who can't express themselves properly. She becomes a doll, and she gradually, I don't want to spoil it because it's really a watch for sure.
Yeah,
she just gradually helps people out with her writing ability, and in that, the stories of these people that she come across are some of the most sad but happy but also sad stories you will ever look at. And it's, again, one of the most beautiful shows I've ever seen. Like, the character design is absolutely phenomenal. The way they animate stuff, especially when it's even, because there's some action in the show as well, and when they animate that action, it's A1 Pictures kind of camera work, and we're gonna talk about camera work later.
I was gonna ask you that. Is that why you said A1 Pictures is it? But I was also looking like this. A1 Pictures didn't animate this one.
No. I said A1 Pictures because of sword art, and we're gonna talk about that later. But
of course, yeah. So like, what was her best connection with a character then? Like, I see a bunch of characters here.
Yeah. It's so hard to explain without giving it away. Just, it's the side characters that you grow attached to more than those other, like, those characters you're looking at right now, right? Like, the stories that Violet come across when she's writing these letters for people are what makes you grow attached to the entire world in itself. There is one character that you don't really see much of, but he's a major part, pun intended, of the entire story. So
he's a major?
He's the major. Yeah.
Okay.
So
all right, cool. Sergeant Major. All right, cool.
Yeah. So watch it, man. It's great. It's great. It's a short watch too. It's 12 episodes. Netflix. The English dub is great. It's actually fantastic. Sub is good too, but because it was dubbed, I'm like, I might as well throw this shit on, and the dub was good. I love it, man. I love how pretty it is too. So check that out. I think it's worth it for sure. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I definitely don't want to spoil it. All right, man.
Okay.
What you want to do?
Okay. I also want to talk about, no spoilers with this, but a while ago, it was like 3 weeks ago, I was on Spice Lady ENT, and we talked about My Hero. And basically, something we said in that talk came to light in the manga. and was trending all over Twitter. I'm pretty sure you didn't see it because you make sure you stay far away from that.
Yeah.
But My Hero Academia's manga is actually getting kind of ridiculous, and I'm loving every bit of it. I just want to throw that out there. I didn't want to spoil anything, but I just want to throw that out there.
He just wanted to waste our time. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, if you think it's a waste of time, it is what it is. But I think that
I know, I'm just messing with you.
That's crazy. At the rate of progression that they're doing here. That's all I want to say.
Anticipation.
Right. Hype everybody up.
Yeah. Love it. I hope it's better from here on out with the seasons, though. That's what I really care about.
I hope the anime seasons do get better, because like to me the manga was fire in the parts that like we didn't like with the that we
Season
didn't
4
like
as a whole.
Yeah. But the manga to me just hit so much better. And I agreed with, I don't remember who said it, but someone said they were salty that they read the manga of another series and then watched the anime. Somebody said about God Punch, and was like, I really enjoyed reading God Punch, but as soon as I started watching it, it just didn't feel the same.
God of High School.
Yeah, God of High School. Sorry, not God Punch. we love God Punch.
Right.
Hope we get animated.
When we get an anime of God Punch, we know we made it. Yeah. Speaking of God of High School, I did watch it. I didn't want to talk about it, but I have to just I had to text you when I text you, man. Because I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this, man?
It's
what
not it.
The fuck? All right, I'm not gonna talk about it. Let's slide into this Bleach talk.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah. I kind of lied to you. I watched a couple of more episodes, so I got to like 162 or so.
Yeah, I'm at 158. I haven't watched 158 yet, but I'm right there.
Okay,
I'm right there.
Perfect. I still like this shit. Again, it's not the fight scenes aren't all that. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, it's older.
Yeah, and you can tell. But
you can tell it's also steadily getting better.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. That it's still just so static though. But again, that doesn't even matter because this story. I said this on Twitter, and I'm gonna say it now. We haven't talked about Black Clover in a long time. Okay. For those of you who listen to Mic Check Waifu for a long time, know that we're not big fans of it. Know that we don't think the show is that great as far as the animation goes. And to be honest, story-wise, is lackluster. It's very fucking subpar. I said this on Twitter to Mike. I'm like, yo, I don't understand how you can love Bleach so much with this character development, world building, power creeps, and all of this shit they do right.
Right.
They do it all right, and like Black Clover, like it sets a bar. It sets my bar even higher than what it was when it came to like the shonen storytelling, because there's no excuses anymore. There's no excuses for what Black Clover is. Like,
if we talk about like how you talk about the power creep and how they slowly get stronger, not even slowly, right? Because
they work.
Technically, in this part we was in, Ichigo was training for a month, and they did a little bit of a fast forward for us, but we get to see Ichigo fighting the hollow version of himself, and it was like, this is something they could have done in like Black Clover just to pay homage, because a lot of anime do that. They'll do something that pays homage to like an older series,
right?
And it just made you feel like how like even how they describe that, like the hollow said, "I am Zangetsu." Like the descriptions of how everything is placed and all these different scenarios in the show. There's obviously an idea already in play, and we already knew that Zangetsu and the hollow form were already synonymous. We already knew that,
right.
But Ichigo just found out for the first time, and it was cool to see his reaction to like, wait, is that really the scenario?
Exactly.
And how it has its own being and is trying to tell him like, for you to gain this power, you have to live off your instincts as well as like your regular fighting ability. You have to do more than what you're doing. The show itself, like, I agree, especially when it comes to things like Black Clover, it makes me want to give my standards even higher.
Yeah, like how? I don't know. It's a whole different beast.
Yeah,
because I still enjoy Naruto a lot more than Bleach.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's just because of my nostalgic the way I think about Naruto and the way I watched it and the timing of everything. Timing means everything.
Yeah.
But this
Naruto also, it looked better.
Yeah.
I feel like the story progression, we have so much more story with Naruto. Even though we know that we have
too.
Yeah, we have 366 episodes of this. Obviously a lot of spoiler, but Naruto had 700 something plus episodes.
Right.
And a lot of it was actual like episodes for the show. So like we had a lot of filler, but there was so much story to be told, so much backstory, so much development for everything.
Yeah.
Our main character was constantly training. I mean, that feels like that with Bleach as well. Like our main character is constantly training, constantly having to overcome hurdles and catching the L's and winning some.
Yep.
Like his L's aren't really big L's, but they're L's to let him know like, hey, look, you have to do better. You have to grow. There has to be some progression here, and whatever you're doing has to be better. And even our side characters, like, now I will say this. This is one thing I did want to say. I wanted to say this. I'm tired of people saying Sakura is useless when we have Orihime.
See, now, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I think Orihime is playing chess right now. That's the kind of feeling I'm getting. Yeah, she's not the strongest. Yeah. Yes, she doesn't do her heels are fucking or.
No, she's busted when it comes to her actual heels. Yeah,
her time reversal is busted as hell. And right now, with the things she's doing, she's trying to get them from the inside.
Mm-hmm.
And I like, again, it's the storytelling that's being done so well. Like, because what she decided to do is she decided to go along with the Arrancar and go to see what Aizen was up to. She figured out what Aizen is up to, and she's like, yo, I know what I got to do to stop this shit. Not really thinking it all the way through, because obviously her team is going to come save her. They're going to try their best, try their damnedest to come save her. So, Soul Society thinks she's a traitor. Her friends are coming to save her, and she's now feeling guilty for because you were at you didn't watch 158, so you're there basically. Her friends are basically losing right now.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like feeling bad and guilty about it. I just love that, man. I love this. The pacing again is a little weird. Because I'm binging it, it's not that big of a deal. But if I was watching this week to week, I'm like, this pacing is just fuck. Because they spend literally 6 minutes recapping this shit, and then the rest
just skip all that.
Yeah, just
I loved how talking about Orihime. I love how Aizen, he has the ability to make people see whatever he wants them to see, right? Whatever their senses allows, he can change all of that.
Right.
And he didn't use that on Orihime initially, right? He just kind of was like, look, I'm going to give you a chance to choose a friend to help, and then you're going to come with me. Like he said that there was a spell on her, which there probably is an actual spell. He probably did release his Zanpakuto in front of her. But the more important fact was that, like, he actually used like psychological, like, tricks on her to try and make her feel like, okay, well, I'm doing this to save my friends, and this is my own choice, and everything like that. And it hits and helps as a story development piece for, like, for instance, where you are right now, where they're talking about that. That in itself, like, Bleach is doing a really good job at, like, developing this story in terms of, like, how these characters move.
Just a heads up, at the beginning of this talk, I'm going to put that song under us because I just love that shit so much. The fucking hums.
I will say one more thing. I didn't actually like.
What's up?
That I thought, and I didn't actually dislike this. I just thought it was funny because to me this makes no sense, and I hate when anime does this. But I'm only thinking about this because I just saw it with Bleach. They were running through Waco Mundo, and they're fighting Runa Gango. And before that, there's a tornado that sweeps up and picks them all up. I'm just like, you motherfuckers literally out here fighting things worse than tornadoes. Like you blasting stuff and standing there and getting blasted and just standing there and the tornado is blowing you away. I could not believe that was a scenario that y'all really getting picked up by a tornado in Wakamundo.
Yeah,
like
shit don't make no sense. And then this Bleach does this thing where everybody wants to fight fair. Everybody wants everybody to use their full power before they actually really throw hands. And
except for number 10.
Yeah, true. And that shit get annoying. It's because it's just you should use your full power. Show me your full power. But this is my full power. This is what my full power do. That shit is the absolute worst in Bleach. I don't think no other anime does that worse in Bleach. I think Cell did that in Dragon Ball Z, but I think that was really like the only other time people just start talking all this shit, telling exactly what their powers do. And
I don't mind so much that telling them what the power does, because I think it's like cool to get that creatively. But yeah, it does become a lot when you got like every different character has a different power for something's different, right?
Yeah,
it's a lot when you got a lot of that. And I just watched with him fighting the fallen Espada. Mm-hmm. And I think that's exactly what he was talking about. He's like, fight me at your full strength. And Ichigo's like, I can't really fight you. It's going to be an instant. And goes, wow, blows his head back and take the mask off again. I'm just like,
that shit was clean.
It was clean, but it was also like, if you really going to do it, like you really, really got to do it. But I love how they make Ichigo. He doesn't really care if you're a hollow or a human. It's just more or less if you're doing harm. Right. Like, dude didn't necessarily, he wanted to fight Ichigo, yes, but what he really wanted was just a good fight. So Ichigo's kind of like, I'll let you live. And dude ends up helping Ichigo. It's the same with Nell.
Yep.
How far are you with Nell yet?
Not as far as I think, because if I remember something from again, in my sleep, I remember seeing her different. So I do know she do something a little special.
Yeah, I was like, when does Nell become a waifu?
Whew. Yeah, that's
soon enough.
That's where I remember. I'm close though. I'm close. I'm probably at that point now because Ichigo just got blown back. So we're gonna find out here shortly. Hey, before we move on, real quick, I'm gonna just give you guys another reminder. We have some new content coming to our Patreon first. It's going to be individually based videos on different topics. Like, for instance, it just deep dives into some stuff, basically. So we're going to speak more on that soon. I promise, coming real soon. It's going to be released for our 1 year anniversary of our Patreon. So if you're not supporting the Patreon, make sure you go to patreon.com.miccheckwaifuwaifu.com. So check that out. Now we have some questions. QCC, questions, comments, and concerns from the socials of medias. Let's get into it.
Twitter questions, here they come.
Yeah, here they come indeed. All right, the first one comes from non-2. His ad name is non-2, which is fucking clean. It's all spelled out, by the way. He said, who's your favorite elemental character, i.e. fire user, water, lightning, etc.?
All right. You want me to go first?
Yeah.
All right. My favorite fire user right off the back is Roy Mustang. I just think Roy Mustang is the GOAT when it comes to fire. Mm-hmm. And you lit up. I love that. It feels so official.
You ain't gotta do all the elements.
Yeah. Lightning. Let me think of lightning. I mean, Killua is an easy lightning choice. But when I think of Raikiri from Chivalry of a Fell Knight, only because of like how it was just like, hey, look, I'm gonna chop you, and her power wasn't just lightning; it was like magnetism. So it was like that mix of them. And
on top of it, yeah,
it was hard. It's
pretty clean.
But I don't know. Those are the first two that come to mind. How about you, bro? What you choosing?
I don't really have one. To be honest, Aang, I guess. I don't know.
Because he used all of them.
Yeah, I don't really. Okay, the elemental thing is cool. I like it, but I don't really have a favorite one, to be honest.
Okay, I mean that's fair. If you don't have a favorite, Aang is dope because he literally has like all of it though.
Right. Speaking of Avatar, Keely Mackin, he asks, what's the worst? What is the worst season of Korra, and why is it season 4? To be honest, I never seen season 4. I just watched the first 2 seasons.
So, K Mackin is my boy, dude I work with. I'm surprised that he said that. But what happens in season 4 of Korra? It might be the one where they go to the spirit realm, because that's the one that everyone hates. They feel like it just gets so slow around that point. I
like this show as a whole. I think it's fucking pretty good.
Korra was really good in my opinion too. But I think that's the part that most people have their gripes with.
I see. Because they go to some spirit realm apparently.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It's fuck, man. Birthday Gate Steve.
Yep.
Fucking with a banger. He says, you can only keep one. Kenpachi, Shikamaru, or Rem.
What kind of shit is that?
I don't know. I fucking hate him. Hate him. Of course I'm gonna choose Rem.
I feel like it's obvious, even though like I do like Kenpachi
and I like
Shikamaru.
He fucked with us with this one. Like he really fucked with us.
But Rem is the one.
But Rem is the one.
Like Rem is really the one.
True. Me and her going to a house on a potato farm or whatever she said.
Just to say this real quick.
Yeah.
Spicy Lady just messaged me on Twitter. Or not Twitter, Instagram. She said Shigaraki best villain hands down. That's all I wanted to say. I wanted to say that. Oh man.
That's it for the questions. Real light on the questions. Weird. Nobody saw that. Let's get into this Burn the Witch, bro.
So, Burn the Witch is a series that's made by the same creators of Bleach, obviously. And cool. I saw the release today for the manga chapter, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm hopping in this immediately. And I paused and said, nah, I'm not going to do that because I know Polo might want to watch this. So I decided not to read it yet. But I think we just found out the movie comes out in 38 days.
Which is hype.
Right, that's going to be so hype. What do you think about this so far?
I mean, Burn the Witch is looking fucking clean. I don't think I was ready for this because isn't he working on finishing Bleach too?
Yeah, he's doing like I think an extension of Bleach as well. So they're like coming back with more Bleach.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't tie into it because by the time we finish Bleach, we're probably going to finish Bleach within like 3 weeks.
It'll be done pretty fast, especially with us skipping all these fillers.
True. I mean, minus the Zanbakuto arc, which I found out is like episode 232. So there's that. But yeah, this Burn the Witch is looking clean. I hope it's a long running series, though. I
hope so too because the concept looks really cool. I saw that it's clearly about the human world and dragons, right? So it's that same concept where they're switching from one realm to another. Ooh, and it reminds me a lot of how like Soul Eater affects Fire Force. Because Soul Eater is such a cool world that's already developed, it makes it feel like when you switch to Fire Force, it's already really well lived in. And I'm hoping, I don't want to necessarily see Bleach in this, but like callbacks and the fact that they had this already animated series that did so well allows them to have like that experience to say, I know exactly what people like and how to do it.
Damn. Strong point, man. Strong point. I'm looking forward to it. I like the characters so far already, even though we don't know what they're saying because the trailer is
no subtitles for us.
But man, a lot of stuff is moving, man. A lot of stuff is moving. New stuff coming out, like almost day and date with manga now. Like for instance, Demon School Academy, whatever the fuck. I can never get that name right. So yeah, apparently that manga. Yeah, apparently that manga is like just finished right where season 1 is. Like it's like still going, but it's stopping right where season 1 is finishing. So I'm looking forward to that. I think I'm with you, bro. After Girlfriend is over, I think I'm gonna read the manga. I think I am. I'm gonna have to. We're gonna talk about that in the second half of the show, because for those of you that don't know how My Check Waifu works, is we do deep dives on weekly anime in the second half of our shows. We break up our shows in 2 parts. We talk everything that could be spoiled, news, topics, questions, all that good stuff. And in the second half of the show, we go into deep dives into shows like Fire Force, Demon King, Misfit Academy, whatever the fuck, Sword Art, and etc. So stick around for that if you're all caught up on the weekly anime. We'll give you full warning before we dive into spoilers of each show. So if you've seen one show but didn't see the other, you can still like fast forward through that stuff. So we'll keep you together. But before we do that, let's go into our recommendations. Burn the Witch is looking fire, by the way, so keep that on your radar.
All right. So my recommendation this week is, as I said, Heat. Blue
fire.
Exorcist. About twin brothers who their father is Lucifer, and one of them is Demon, and the other one is, they're basically fighting to kill demons and keep the world safe. And they have a new father who raises them and teaches them to be good guys. The series itself is actually really cool. I never touched the manga, and I hear really great things about the manga, but the movie was good. Season 1 is good. The newer season that came out, I think 2 years ago, was really good. So I think it's definitely worth watching.
Okay.
And a lot of people fall in love with these characters really easily.
That's one I'm gonna pick up on. All right.
You should.
Because I think I watched like the first few episodes, but my recommendation is going to be what I talked about earlier, and that's Violet Evergarden. I do think this is a must watch. No wonder why this anime is getting so many goddamn movies and like shit like that, because it's just amazing. Like I said, it's a quick Netflix watch, 12 episodes, 13 episodes, 12 or 13 episodes.
I think it said 12.
Okay. Nice mini stories not mini stories, but there's stories in there that it'll probably blow you back. It may make you shed a thug tear too. So
you and your thug tears.
So yeah, keep your eye out on that. Again, it's on Netflix, Violet Evergarden. So we're gonna take this quick break with a song brought to you by the homie Teflon Sega. Boy, it's heat. He always brings the heat though, so that's nothing new. Again, we're gonna get the playlist together and dish it out to y'all on our Twitter. So make sure you guys are following us at My Check Waifu for that. And when we come back, we can do our get to know My Check Waifu. So don't go nowhere yet. We're gonna get to know My Check Waifu right after this.
Oh man, the world is ending if you're with me. Life is a beach, we're swimming out to the deep. We're off like vegans to beef. Trauma so surface, we're deep underneath. I know. And when your ego's deceased, loosen your grip and release. Open up your eyes, even though we're sleeping. Following the signs, almost like we're speaking. Blame it on the high. We can see the sequence, running through the tides, waving through the deepness. Wave, wave, above ya, wave until ya. Away from the wave, wave, above ya, wave until ya. I'm away from the wave. Crop circles in the sky, the higher we go. Travel through space without leaving Ohio. So strange how they change with a little pain. Ain't a thing, what's a wave to a hurricane? I know that it all seems scary, but it's just imaginary. Open up your eyes, even though we're sleeping. Following the signs, almost like we're speaking. Blame it on the high. We can see the sequence, running through the tides, waving through the deepness. Wave, wave, above ya, wave until ya. Away from the wave, wave, above ya, wave until ya. I'm away from the wave.
And welcome back to Mic Check Waifu. We wave running. Make sure you guys check out shop.miccheckwaifu.com for the podcast merch. Patreon.com/miccheckwaifu. Let's get to know Mic Check Waifu right now with the random number generator. For those of you that don't know, we have this random segment called not random segment. We have this segment where we ask Mic Check Waifu a question using a random number generator in the docket that has about 100 and some old questions on it. I'm gonna roll the generator this week, and Tell's gonna read me the question, and we're both gonna give our answers. You ready?
Let's do it.
3, 2, 70.
Okay, that's not a bad number.
Good number.
If you had to sing a song, what would it be?
If I had to sing a song.
Yeah, any song.
Shit. Can't say Tory.
Oh, right. No. Goodness gracious.
Oh boy. It'll probably be if I can actually sing the song I'm singing. I don't fucking know, dude. It'd probably be like a Tank song or something like that.
Okay, I feel you.
Or Tyrese, like Signs of Love Making or something. Yeah,
you always been on that.
Yeah, always. That R&B shit is my shit.
I feel you.
What about you?
If I had to sing a song, it's gonna be a Cudi joint. Easily.
Great answer.
I just don't know which one.
It don't even matter. Still a great answer.
Soundtrack to my life. That feels like the actual soundtrack to my life sometimes.
Pursuit of Happiness.
Pursuit of Happiness. All of it. Day and night. I like a lot of his newer things too. Yeah, it's gonna be a Cudi track.
I feel that. All right, when that's get to know Mic Check Waifu. Let us know in the comments of the YouTube video or on Twitter what song you would sing if you could sing, or if you can already sing. You got a song. Email it to us at contact@miccheckwaifu.com. Maybe we'll use it in the show. You never know.
I like that. That.
Yeah, you never know. And we back. All right, so again, this is the half of the show we spoil the current weeklies, which involve the newer shows that came out this summer season. Where do we want to start today?
I feel like you talked about Misfit Demon King, so I want to start there.
Let's do it. Misfit Demon King, bro. Another heater, bro.
I think that
this is probably the most story-filled episode because we got a lot out of it.
Yeah, it was a lot of detail.
Yeah, I had to rewind a couple of times.
Still, that's surprising, but it was a lot of detail. Decent progression in terms of like we're actually moving and we're getting ready to find out, or at least we think we're going to find out who the villain is.
We saw him. Supposedly.
Yeah, we saw him. Avos Dilheed or whatever his name is, but we don't know what his actually. We don't actually know who he is yet,
or what he is.
Right. We don't know if he's the hero. We don't know if he's like some other deity-esque creature, but I consistently like Anos and like his relationships that he builds in the show. Like, come on, man. Tell me that dude, like, I would love to be his friend. I'm sorry. I know you don't want to actually be friends with a Demon King, but like, I would like to be Anos' friend. Like, come on, man. Like, let's be real though. If you had Anos as a friend and you actually genuinely just like him because of who he is, he's not doing you wrong in any way, shape, or form.
Nope.
Even before this, it seemed like he was a pretty cool dude to live with and be friends with. Like,
straight up.
Where is the demon part of this at? I'm confused.
The greatest part about this episode is that it did the most anime thing ever. And the most anime thing ever I'm speaking of is the fact that Anos didn't have all of his powers back, and he got all of his powers back in this episode, fucking around with this dude who thought he had all of his powers.
Right.
Oh my gosh, man!
The dude made a mistake basically, and it was like Anos was like, okay, well, you just gave me all my powers back by being stupid, but I'll take it.
Yeah, and I'm like, wow. So this entire time when he was doing all that shit he was doing at the beginning of the show, that wasn't all of his powers, and I'm just mind fucking blown.
Right.
The fact that Divya was able to show up in this alternate space that they were in, which nobody's supposed to be able to show up in, also blew me. I'm like, well, how much motherfucking power does he have? You know?
It shows that clearly he had a lot of power, but he had to have a lot of power because, like,
that's true.
His direct disciples were basically all mind controlled.
Right.
So that lets you know immediately that he has to have some kind of immense power.
Exactly.
But also we have the concept that, like, if he does have a lot of power, does he have 10 times as much power as what Anos had before? We don't know. We can assume not.
I guarantee not.
But damn.
Holy
but also I love the fact that, like, so we're just talking about the storyline of this show, and Anos is planning. When he found out that the dude's mom was a spirit, what he did was basically send out her ritual to the world to kind of spread the knowledge of her, which is what's going to keep her spirit around. And, you know, in Japan, they think that if you believe in the spirit, it sticks around. It's the same thing that happens in, like, Noragami Arigato. You have to believe in the spirit for it to stick around. Yeah. Inspector, exactly. So the idea that that's what he did, and it was simple. It was just in front of everyone, gave her power back and her existence. And it just, like, it's something simple that we didn't necessarily even look at, but it happens. And when it gets explained, you're like, oh shit, now I got to go back and pay attention to that because I didn't even realize he did it, but I knew he did it when I remember exactly what they're talking about. The show is just, they do those little minor things that just make sense.
Again, I don't understand how, because it has to be, the hardest thing that has to be done is writing a character like Anos who's completely overpowered and making it interesting. I love the fact that he's not a shy or bashful main tune like most of the main tunes are. He's not intimidated in the slightest about anything. Like, I love that shit because a lot of times people are shocked that they have these powers or they don't know that they have them and they come across them. Like, I love Wise Man's Grandchild. It's a great show, but he still was timid with the ladies. Like, Anos is not. Sasha was bad. He was bad in a motherfucker in this episode.
Hey, no.
She pulled up. I'm like, oh,
I almost didn't even recognize her. I was like, oh, that is Sasha, huh? Oh my goodness.
Sasha pulled up. So I'm like, yeah, man, this show is great, man. I'm about to get a Sasha figure, put it behind me.
Nah, I feel you. I feel you. I'm not getting Sasha. I'd have to get Misha because I feel like Misha a real one.
Nah, Sasha the realist. Yeah, man, I love this show. It gets better and better weekly, which is hard to do.
Yeah, especially when you contend with stuff like this.
Exactly. You would think the overpowered shit would get old. Not yet, no. They're changing it up. The storytelling is brilliant. The writing is great. The characters are phenomenal. The voice acting is fantastic.
They set great expectations.
Yeah, for sure. I hope if they dub it, I hope they dub it because that means it's popular enough. And then I hope they do it right. Just always, so it's all around great.
Yeah.
All right. Any last comments on this fire?
Nah, I don't have anything else for this heat.
Let's go next to. Can we please talk about ReZero?
Yeah. What? Of course we can talk about ReZero.
Full spoilers on the latest episode of ReZero, which is
oh my god,
season 2, episode 12. What episodes? It's like 7, 8.
That was episode 7 we just watched.
Episode 7 of ReZero. Full spoilers. Okay. Whew. So I'm gonna tell you the truth, and this is me being 100% real. I never in my entire existence make sure this is true. Yes, because I thought I might have did this in Clinab, but I didn't. I was just too busy fucking crying like a girl. The beginning of this episode, the entire beginning of it, I held my breath almost the fucking entire time. I was like, come on, Beatrice, no, let him die. And then everything was revealed about her only following the orders of the fucking witch, which blew me. I'm like, man, what?
You ain't shit.
I'm like, man, what? One of my favorite characters, Beatrice, is doing who now? So that blew me back. And then when she finally, what's they call that chick?
Gut spiller Elsa,
yeah. When she bust in the room, I'm like, I've never been so happy to see her.
Never been so happy for our main character to die.
But I was also still holding my breath.
Because you never knew. I was like, yo, Beatrice might turn around and just like, yeah, you're not doing this right now.
Created this fucking new save point. I would have been so pissed, bro.
Bro, I was like, he said that too. Like, what if this is where like the save point is? What if I can't go back? And I was like, please. I was like, please just go ahead and end it. I like,
my little Petra.
Yo, he was killing me. And the thing is, I love Beatrice as well. Mm-hmm. And I was very hurt by this revelation. Mm-hmm. But they gave us a hint in the beginning of this season anyway. They told us. They didn't tell us, but they hinted at it. It was like, why does she know so much about it? We even spoke on it.
Yep.
But it was just more like they revealed it now. And she has to have a more connection though, right? Because she's there for Roswell, and I just don't see her. I guess I do, but I don't see her from what we've seen of Beatrice 100% just saying that's 100% the will of the book, right?
Right.
Like
that's why she's
shown
confused.
Too much empathy.
Yeah, she's confused too. That's why she was crying and not entirely sure, I suppose, what the hell is going on. I just love her so much, man. Her character is just, she was so great. Mm-hmm. She was so great.
I have to say, this show, they do a great job at developing the relationship for the character so that when something happens, it's almost always a shock, even if it's not, you know?
Yes.
It was like, why is this happening with Beatrice? We were already salty from the last episode. We came in with so much like remorse already. And then we got what we wanted in the death of Subaru. But then they head back to he revives back at the village. And it goes back down south.
Isn't it crazy how much shit changed when he tries to manipulate the shit to go into his favor? He even tried to do it as much as he could the same exact way, and it still turned out because that one thing that he changed, and that was meeting with the Lolita elder. Mm-hmm. And when he did that, it fucking ruined it, and now he's locked up. Was locked up. Shout out to Otto.
They also did they also did a really cool thing of like, we got to see that Garfield was he's a person who apparently doesn't necessarily get stuck in time loops, right? So like, he was the character who, even though Subaru did the same exact thing, he did not do the same exact thing. And I think it happened twice now that he had not given, like the first time when they went back to the main village, he didn't initially hand Subaru the necklace, even though he immediately went for it the first time. It was like, here, Subaru, just since you can do this, let's give off the necklace.
But do you think that's like just a result of the slight change that Subaru did? Because Subaru wasn't waiting outside the very first time that happened. Subaru, like every time Subaru, it was something that changed that made Garfield change. Yeah.
I think it's more based on the revelation that the character is more impulsive, right?
Like unpredictable.
Like, yeah, he doesn't even know what he's gonna do. So how could time know what he's gonna do? And I think that's what it is. It's like, obviously Subaru choosing an action is gonna be one thing. But I think that think about it as like Goku in Ultra Instinct mode. Like Goku got somebody throwing a punch at him. Goku doesn't know how he's gonna dodge it. He just does, right? Mm-hmm. And that's the same thing that's happening with Garfield in my mind. Is that like the character doesn't necessarily know what he's going to do next. He just goes with his gut instinct and probably what feels right at that moment. And I like that is a characteristic that's in play, because that means that there are dynamics that can change even if Subaru isn't the one changing them.
See, now I think the opposite of that. I think because of Subaru's slight deviations, just slightly deviating from what's happening, it's causing Garfield to then become impulsive. Like I don't think he's just out whim doing it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And he is part Beastman, so he could be intuitive on those things. Like, hey,
kind of like
you
doing
that, and like, okay, you doing something different.
Yep.
So let me move different.
Yep.
You know,
the fact that they locked him up, that part I should have rewound too, because I was a little confused at first, but they just really want Emilia to be the one to go through these tests instead of Subaru. Moral of the story, but to lock up Subaru, I thought was a little overboard.
Well, I think also because they found Subaru as a threat.
Oh, because he's the one that can go in and do the trial for her instead of her doing it herself. Yeah.
And if you remember, I remember when they first started doing the trial, when they saw that Subaru can go in there, they were actually okay. Well, Garfield was okay with Subaru doing the trial that time. After that, he was like, yeah, I don't have a problem with you doing it. And then they did the whole nother switch again.
Yep.
And it was like, yep, nah, you're not doing the trial. We're not rocking with that. And it's like, I love how the dynamic changes every time he dies or every time something different happens. And that moment when Subaru found out he actually has a friend.
Sorry, dying laughing.
Yo, bro, I was like, I get it though. In this world, how he's living, who cares about friends? Like, let's be real. Like, you literally are being killed on a regular basis. You come back and your everyday goal is to save the life of these two very specific women. And consistently you're dying for it. You're not thinking about who is your friend. You're just thinking about how to make sure your end goal is met. But the people around you are interested in you, and they're happy with your energy and your self-esteem and how you're pushing through and always being resilient. Right. They don't even get to see that you really struggling out here and going through this. Well, I guess it's like almost like social media, but he out here struggling and dying on a regular basis and has like, they have no idea, but they consider themselves friends. And I was like, Otto is low key the truth.
There's no way in hell anybody in this entire world can tell me that I will always and forever believe that Return by Death is the worst power in anime. There's no question, bro. There is no fucking question. That shit is awful. It just brings so much misery and dread, and the fact that it makes you want to say, please die, main character, is just in itself psychotic, in itself fucking horrible.
I'm still putting reading Steiner on the same level, but I 100% agree with you. Because Return by Death is horrible, bro. Like, come on. You mean I have to die to go back in time and hope, live this life?
Not only that, and hope, because at least with reading Steiner, I know where I'm going back to. I don't know if my fucking save point changed in Return by Death. I don't know if the shit I'm doing, if I'm killing myself for absolutely no reason, like I did when Rim came back, or was when Rim was knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Luckily, it was a time that Rim was alive, and her memories is just gone instead of fucking completely cut up into pieces.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Oh man. ReZero, another great episode.
For sure.
It's just like I said, like we always say, it's a series of amazing moments. Just like everything just always seems to be leading in the right direction, even if we don't want it to go that direction.
Straight up. Shout out to Unbothered Mike for picking it up. I wonder if he got any further.
Yeah, we gotta see what he hitting.
I know
where he at, because if he not, we know when he gets like episode 14 is when like shit feels like a inner turmoil is being like destroyed. Like you get salty.
Yeah. True.
But we gonna see how he feel after he hit that point.
All right, let's do it. Next up,
let's do Rent a Girlfriend.
Let's do it. Fuck, man.
Rent a Girlfriend was one of my favorite episodes this week. I mean, I feel like every week is one of my favorite episodes. If I'm being real,
it's so hard, man. Again, I hate that Chizuru keeps fucking proving me right, man. She does everything to show that she maybe drops a little bit of a fucking like a little bobble at him. I'm starting to think she's the worst.
She making you want to quit the show?
No, hell no. This show's way too good to quit. But the way she drops her little bobbles and gives little hints of care, just a little sprinkle, a little care there, and then instantly takes that shit away. Pisses me off though. It pisses me off because again, I think in the mindset of our main character, I don't think of the overarching story because, like I said, I'm the viewer. I can see it all. Our main character can't. But our main character is starting to realize his own feelings. Which is great, but also terrible at the same time.
Finally intelligent. Yes, he's finally like doing.
I like Ruka, bro.
I do too, man. And I'm instantly like, yeah, low key, I'd trade that for Mami-chan. I mean, not Mami-chan, for Chizuru.
I would too.
Like,
fuck it.
Like I'm rocking with that. And
that's a guarantee opposed to this girl who's like not into me, according to her, even though she is. But no.
And she likes him for all the right reasons.
Yes.
You know, like, yo, she's like, I like you because for a rental girlfriend, you jumped and saved a rental girlfriend's life. She's a rental. Yep. Like all the things that we feel like Chizuru should be liking him for, she liking him for. And it's like, to me, in my mind, I'm just like, how are you not? Like, how are you not? I am confused.
She's adorable.
Now, I get it, though. I get it.
He caught feelings. He caught feelings at the wrong time.
Yeah. And he don't want to hurt his friend.
That too.
So, I get it. But I also feel like, hey, it's a rental. And his friend knows a rental. Go ahead and it is what it is.
That's what's wrong with the situation. Because what's going to happen, and this is just guesstimation, a polo guesstimation. I think that he's going to do that. He's going to date her like Chizuru said. His friend is going to see that and be pissed off at him. It's going to be this whole wheel. Now, I hope he's not smart enough. I hope he's smart enough to go to his friend first and say, hey, this is the situation. Just like he was planning on doing, you know? But
I think that Mami-chan gonna pop up again.
Fuck her.
And she gonna see him with a whole new baddie. And she gonna be like, guess what I gotta do now? Make things worse.
Nah, because he over her now. He like Chizuru.
I mean, he kind of over her, but is he?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
Yeah. Because if you're not going, okay, if you're in a situation, maybe this is where the character becomes ridiculously stupid, like everybody's saying in the manga. But if you like Chizuru, if you get developed feelings and realize that Mami-chan isn't it for you, but Chizuru is, but then Mami-chan pops up, but you choose Mami-chan opposed to Ruka,
bro. I mean, I would be salty. Yeah,
like that'd be dumb as fuck. Now the show is ridiculously stupid.
I do think though, like the only thing about that to me that doesn't make it stupid is the fact that he doesn't really want Ruka-chan for. I'm saying like Ruka-chan, like she like I'm in the show and shit. he doesn't want Ruka for the reasons we've already stated, right? So he thinks she's hot, but he's not trying to be with her, right? He has his eyes set on Chizuru or someone else, and I hope that they do date and he kind of like breaks through that ice and kind of sees like, okay, I do really like Ruka.
She's a sweetheart, yes.
Because to me, I'm like, she already a 10 in my book. Like I'd hop on that. Just like, all right, look, Chizuru, you've been playing too many games. So
you told me to date her, so I'm gonna
hop
date her.
out with Ruka.
That's what I wish from shows like this. I hope when situations like this pop up, This is how I want the story to go. This is Polo's story. If I was to
I just
write
need
this
the
manga.
game. I just need the game. Give us the game so we can do exactly that.
Well, yeah, I picked Ruka. Ruka's mine after Chizuru tells me to go out with her. Mm-hmm. This is how I write the show. They go out and they're having a fantastic life together. I mean, they're in love. Ruka and what's his name? Kazuya, whatever his name is just having a good time. And Chizuru sees them and get jealous as fuck. And then express her love, but it's too late. I'm already in love with Ruka. And then they move the fuck on. All right. Baby's being
That's
had.
the end of this show.
That's the end of the fucking show.
They graduate from college.
They're done. You know? That's what I like.
Nah, I like that too. I think that's what we need, but obviously we're not gonna get that. Right. We got to get some more drama. I just don't. I'm very torn on what can happen next because I feel like they haven't let us down on any episode. No, and I just feel like the next episode it either has to be more dramatic or a letdown. So I'm very scared for what the next episode of The Girlfriend is going to be. Because I just have no idea, bro. I really have none.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites this summer for sure.
For sure,
I'm loving ReZero.
I 100% agree with that.
But it's dread. It's heavy. It's my drama. Even though this is drama, but
this is the lighter drama.
This is the lighter drama.
This isn't sadness. Mm-hmm. This is like, oh my god, Monique was hype watching this episode. She's like, oh my god, he got a bitch. And I'm like, Monique, stop. Oh my god, this show's so good. We choosing Ruka-chan right now.
We choosing Ruka-chan. Let's move on to let's go on to SAO. This shit was
all right, yeah, let's talk about that A1 Patriots. What you got to say, bro?
This shit was so great, man. This camera work gets me every fucking time. Learn, people, learn. Between this and Attack on Titan's camera work, I don't think there's an anime that does it better, man. I don't understand why other shows don't take note. A1 Pictures camera work, the way that it can at one point follow a weapon, follow the sword slashing upward, and then it'll transition over from, like, it'll come from the sword, it'll move from the sword, transition to beyond Kirito's head, right into like almost a first person type of slash that just then flashes into them like fucking colliding, and it looks amazing, man. Mm-hmm. The camera tracking is insane. A1 Pictures is probably top of the line with this camera work. Now, as far as the episode go, it was a good episode, but I am going to say this. Sword art is so fucking campy, bro. And I don't care. I just don't care. It's a guilty pleasure, I guess. It's campy.
In most situations, we don't even like campy stuff like that, but yeah, Kirito hitting his pose, like the original pose, I was like, hey, let's go. That's what I was waiting for.
Oh, this whole Yu-Gi-Oh! power of my best friend bullshit. I'm like, you know what? I like it.
We saw it coming. The sword had to be restored, bro.
100%. We saw it coming. And it's just like, I like it. I don't care.
And our boy came through on the, you not logging out, just so you know.
Yeah, he's about to be here forever, bro.
You're going to be in here forever. At least your avatar going to be in here forever. So you start from scratch.
He's dripped up and draped out at that point, too. He came in with his fucking sword art shit on. Mm-hmm. He's like, nah, you're not going nowhere.
That was hard, bro. And that's exactly what we wanted, though. We wanted Kirito to come out and really be about that work.
Straight up.
We wanted him to come in and say, look, I've been asleep a little bit too long, and you threatening my friends and my family. So I got this black sword and I got this crystal sword.
And my eyes turn gold again.
You want to get beat?
It's over.
That's what you about to get.
Straight up.
And he beat him.
Straight up.
It's hard. Yes, I agree, though. Camera angles and everything is fire. The time frame is another moment that scares me, right? Mm. So they told Kirito, you got 15 minutes or else you're going to be in there for 200 years in Fluck-like time or brain time.
Yep. And your brain can't recover from that shit.
Yeah. And the thing, well, they said it can. It's just very minimal, right? So
They
like
said virtually impossible.
yeah. But it's like, here's the thing. We know, I think, and the only reason Kirito would survive that would be power of friendship kind of shit. But we know that like strong-minded people, 200 years in complete darkness. Yeah, he came back. He probably said like, I'm done. That was it. But that scares me actually. Like just thinking about that. Like,
I know. Could
you imagine spending 20 hours in just complete isolation, floating darkness?
What kills me is that the fact that we have four episodes left, I believe. It might be 4 or 5. 4 or 5 episodes left, and he just got to Vecna, which means that we're gonna have some ending left in this. Hopefully, if it takes him 2 episodes.
Yeah, it's 8. We about to hit episode 8, and we on it's 11 episodes in the season. So yeah.
Damn. Yeah. So he got 10 minutes to beat his ass and move on. Do you think he gonna do it?
I think it's gonna be like 3 seconds
3,
left,
2,
and Kirito
1.
gonna make it out. Yeah, and
I think
I think he gonna work Vecna though. I think he gonna, and I don't think he gonna work him like it was easy peasy. I'm done kind of work.
Yeah.
I think he gonna go in and he's gonna work Vecna like this is all the struggle I've been through. And it's gonna be like he gonna dive in with his sword, and the point of fact's gonna be there. Everybody gonna be there. He gonna,
yeah,
it's a wrap. And now it's not gonna be this next episode, but he about to show Vecna what he working with.
Don't forget, you got what is it, Flash Lightning with him,
Asuna. But I also was trying to figure out where was she at because he dropped her. He was in the air.
She caught up with Alice.
Yeah.
She gonna pull up though.
Yeah,
with her Yuki wings.
They might jump him.
Straight up. And it's gonna be like that scene in season 1 where they were fucking going off on people.
Yeah, bro.
Together.
I love the callbacks that they keep doing. Like,
gosh, I love it.
I know like to some people it might be ridiculous, but for someone who hasn't watched Sword Art in like a year and a half, 2 years, it's nice to see those callbacks. Because it just feels nostalgic and refreshing at the same time. Yes,
definitely refreshing. I think we should go back and rewatch Sword Art all together and then review it as a whole when it's finally over. It's a lot of episodes, but I think it's gonna be worth it.
Yeah, we watching Bleach. We can do this, and guess what? No filler.
Easy, yeah.
I guess there is filler, but
ain't no filler in Sword Art, bro. You know that.
The OVAs or whatever.
Oh, the OVAs. Okay, yeah, that's true.
But I watched those anyway. They was good.
They were real good. The short stories were phenomenal.
So what we think is happening next? They fighting?
I think they're fighting for 2 more episodes, and then we're gonna get an episode of them leaving and living life together.
You think so? I wonder what the after effects gonna be in the real world.
Me fucking too. I think, man,
because the biggest concern is not even the fact that what happens when they leave. There's literally a whole raid squad about to come up on them.
Yep. You got the whole raid squad.
If they make it out, how do they even get out?
Great question. I don't know. Well, the raid squad is our people. It's the good guys that's coming to help them out.
Okay, yeah. Well, I hope so. I hope they get
that's
there.
What they said. That's why they sped up the time thing. The bad guys sped up the time thing because they knew the raid was coming in.
Under pressure.
Yeah. Straight up. Great fucking show though. Love it.
I hope. I need it now.
Yeah. Hey, one, keep doing your thing, man. I need you to animate more stuff.
Y'all pull those boys.
Yeah, straight up.
And girls.
All right, what's last but not least? Fire Force, bro.
Literally fire as always.
My goodness.
I love like I'm not gonna say like the religion of the show, but I love how they take like the demon or Inferno is such a like he seems like a cultist, but that's what they should be in the first place. He should be ridiculous, and we got the chance to see more of them with intellect, not just the main one with horns. Like they all can talk, and they're not just like mindless beasts like we thought they were before.
Only reason being is because the demon Inferno taught him.
Yeah.
Like, and that's fucking, again, this world, the way that the separate sides of the world are moving completely different. Like, they're trying to bring back up this, I think, were we correct about that being a nuclear power plant? I think we were, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because they're trying to use the code to bring it back active again so it can destroy the world. But, man, the situations that this is in, like, how can they win? They don't have the firepower to beat one of these demons. Like, and they established how strong these guys were when Benimaru fought one. And
yeah, he had to get them all the way out of it. He had to get the Inferno, the demon Inferno, far away from land,
and
to even unleash his power. Yeah. I think that it can be done though, and I think it's gonna obviously be Shinra, but I think the only reason that they're gonna be able to do it is because he felt the Adola link
from the old girl.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. But also that girl, even though she did like what she did with those animals, I still feel like she's ominous, bro. Like
straight up,
that's mad shady. A little skeptical I am.
But she's telling them to protect the forest.
But why though? I don't know if I trust her.
Yeah, it's so hard to even know if you could or not. Like, what is she about? You know? And she was there after, like, the moment the Great Cataclysm ended.
Mm-hmm. So she's been there for years.
Yeah. So what the fuck are you?
And is she inside of the Amaterasu? Is she the one who set up the plans? What's going on? Like obviously I don't think she set up like the stones or anything like that, but what is going on to where she was able to go in and just do that?
Right.
What kind of being is she? What's her goal? We don't know.
More story.
This is why Fire Force is so great, bro.
Fuck yeah, man. Kills it, man. It kills it every week. I don't know what to do there.
What's also crazy is just the moment where the mole dude is talking about something. You don't hear me talking? He's sitting here trying to talk to you, and he just like ignoring him. I enjoy the funny moments of this show too. Like, I feel like it just has so many different positive elements. I talk about it in the video I'm recording for Mic Check Waifu.
Dope. That,
like, there's different moments, like funny moments, serious moments, and Fire Force just has them all.
Do you think there's a reason why they ignored the animals? I think so. I feel like Fire Force always do shit like it has a purpose.
Yeah. Well, I think it might also have something to do with the fact that they probably look at the animals as like they're already infernals,
right?
Who are just like not listening to them. So it's like, why do I pay attention to you?
Exactly, because we already see that the Infernos are intelligent enough to fight. They can throw hands. Why didn't they kill the animals? Yeah. Because they think they're Infernos.
Also, I did also like the idea that the main Inferno has a goal in mind, which is to him to just die so he can make it to heaven.
Yep.
And it's like he retained that sense of life that he had when he became an Inferno, but it's also like, what's making these demon Infernos, right?
Right.
Like, we saw in the first episode that there's the Infernos with multiple cores, which the ones with the multiple cores actually seemed easier to kill than the ones with the demon. Like, it's like they have to have significantly much more firepower. And are we gonna run into one that's like a demon with multiple demon cores, where it's like, you gotta blow me up all the way?
So they did explain how the demon Infernos come about, and it's because they basically have a piece of, I guess you can call it a piece of the
Adola.
They're chosen by the Amaterasu, but not all the way. Like when the dude was trying to turn people using the bug into Inferno, he was trying to find like demon Infernos or people that can actually become awakened, I guess is what he was saying. But like not all of them could, but some of them can have a little piece of that in them to where they become a demon Inferno, and that's how they get developed. So he was one of the lucky ones. What bugged me a little bit is that these guys are on the other side of the world, yet he had the evangelist robe on.
But why does that bug you?
The evangelist is not in over here.
But it's not. I don't even think they're that far yet, though. And I'm gonna tell you why. It's because when they first landed in this area, they made it to that potato farm. That potato farm was the big juggernaut dude. That was his mom's farm.
Right.
So like that's not even. They had already crossed the water and made land there. So I don't think it was really that far. As far as we think it was.
It was what, 2 days and 2 nights that they traveled to get there?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it was that far. I think that, and we also don't know how far spread the white clad is.
Yes, I guess that's true. But this guy would have mentioned something about the evangelist, because his plan is pseudo similar, but it's not.
His plan is just for him alone.
For him alone to die. So if he was a part of the evangelist, it would. Their plan, their whole movement is them moving as one. They're trying to do one specific thing, and that's caused a great cataclysm again.
Yeah,
I don't think, and they need the Amaterasu to do that, and I don't think they even know anything about this side. Maybe they do.
We also, I don't think we ever seen them actually be able to control a Demon Inferno though. Like the only collaboration with Demon Infernos they had was the one that Benimaru killed.
Yeah, and that was because they just created that by randomly putting that bug in the people.
And then we don't know if the Demon Infernos or Infernos themselves have their own agendas or game plans. We know that they're trying to create them. We know like when they went to what was it, Squad 4 with what's the beautiful lady name with the pink hair?
Oh, that's Squad 5.
Squad 5.
Hibana.
When they went to Hibana. When they went to Squad 5 location, we saw that there was an Infernal there that, you know, it wasn't intelligent, but it was there and it fought with them, right? So we do know that they can either be controlled or have some kind of like allegiance, but we don't know what their official like stance is on things.
Right.
And I would assume that an intelligent Infernal, whether he be in a white clad or not, he might have been turned as a white clad experiment and was left there because his views were so vastly different.
Right. All in all, though, Fire Force is still fire, man.
Straight heat.
That's good, man. It's good stuff. Anyway, let's get out of here.
All right. Recap time. That was a rewind. All right. We just finished talking about Fire Force. Do you think it's fire? Do you think it's heat? Let us know what you think about the last episode. SAO. A1 Pictures keep doing your thing and they killing it. Rent a Girlfriend. Y'all making my heart throb and it's killing me, bro. It's so much. I don't mean heart throb in a good way. I mean like so much anticipation. I'm ready for my dude to have some love in his life. 3-0. Don't do it. Whatever the bad part is, I mean, do it because that's what we want. But we want it to be good. Misfit Demon King. Another great episode. We was not expecting this one to consistently be a banger, and it just keeps giving us bangers. Today, when we came back from our break, you got to know Mike Check Waifu, and the question was, what song would you sing? Polo out here singing some love making songs. Me, you know, Cuddy, chill vibes always. We also did Wave Runner from Teflon Sega today for the break. My recommendation was Blue Exorcist, and Polo's was Violet Evergarden, which he also talked about last week, and I think it must really made an impact on him because that's something, right? Burn the Witch. Yo, are we hype or what? 38 days till Burn the Witch movie comes out. I hope they stream it or whatever they do. Either way, I want to see that thing. Twitter questions. We had, who is your favorite elemental user? Let us know who your favorite elemental user is. You got fire, water, ice, electricity, earth. Let us know. K-Mac hit us with the Legend of Korra season 4 is the worst. Probably. If you say it is, I'm gonna rock with you.
I'm gonna trust you. Yeah, straight
up. Then we also talked about Bleach and, you know, basically we are 150, 160 episodes in right now. It's crazy. Polo did his Violet Evergarden breakdown. He's 12 episodes. He finished the 12 episodes. It's a sea of remorse and sadness and a beautifully animated sea of remorse and sadness at that. And I started Kagauri, and I think it's fire. I think everybody should go ahead and hop on that little train right there. Don't gamble in real life though. Don't gamble unless it's a short thing.
Straight up.
Don't mean it's gambling at that point.
I've been at Polo Born Fly on all social media.
And I am King Teliano on all social media.
You can follow our social medias at Mic Check Waifu on Twitter and at Mic Check Waifu on Instagram. I don't have the echo prepared, so I'm just saying. And as always, Mic check. Peace.
好きなの。予行練習なんて全部嘘。You're now tuned into Mic Check Waifu